but it's a science. Like, I love it when my spiritual master speaks about this, because when I asked my spiritual master, I said, what is spirituality? He said, spirituality is a science. He said, spirituality is saying that everything is energy, and science is saying that everything is energy. So we're here as a physical being, but beyond us, we have an energetic being, like energy. We're energy also. And all energy is interconnected. I think that everyone should try. I mean, how can we say, hey, think positive? If someone's negative, they're negative. If someone has a challenge, they have a challenge.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't really help some people. Like, let's say, for example, if some people are suffering from depression, stop thinking about it, think positive. It's not going to help, because they need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
But I think that should be a goal for everybody. The goal should be to try and be happy all the time.
Yeah.
It's a nice goal. Yeah. The thing is, the more we practice it, the better we become at it. I don't look at life. I mean, yes, if anybody else was watching, I think they would see that everyone's life is made of highs and lows.
Yeah.
How I like to reprogram my mind or have a different cognitive reframe on the situation is, I like to look at it like highs and extreme highs. So that's how I see it, really. And I think everything is a perspective. Let's say, for example, if I fall over, I can say that's a low. But me falling over gave me an opportunity to stand back up. So
that's true.
It's like, have I made mistake in business before? Yes, but that was the opportunity that made me learn. So was the low a low, or was the low for the purpose of a high? Yeah, I think once we shift the perspective, then it's no longer highs and lows. It's kind of just highs and extreme highs.
Yeah.
It is more than just our thoughts, but it's a science. Like, I love it when my spiritual master speaks about this, because when I asked my spiritual master, I said, what is spirituality? He said, spirituality is a science. He said, spirituality is saying that everything is energy, and science is saying that everything is energy. So we're here as a physical being, but beyond us, we have an energetic being, like energy. We're energy also. And all energy is interconnected. So does the collective energy change our vibration? Of course it does. All you need to do, if we step into a negative room, you feel negative. If you step into a positive room, you feel positive. So does the environment affect us? Of course. Now then we say, yeah, but that's only the room we sit in. Not really. It's a collective. It's a global. Let's say, for example, like now we have Trump elected. Does that affect a lot of people's vibrations around the world? Yes. Does it then affect the media and the news? Yes. Does it then affect us? Yes. Indirectly, everything's affecting. And it's happening on an unconscious level. So I like to call that the superconscious. It's the collective. We can call the universal, whatever, God, or, what name we want. But there is something greater, because just like in everything in existence, there are things that we can see and feel. There are things that we cannot see and we cannot feel. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like electricity. It exists. Gravity, it exists. But we cannot see it. Well, there's 3 ways. The first way to reprogram the mind or break old patterns is by doing a cognitive reframing. So this is a bit like timeline therapy or NLP, or like, if we go back to an old pattern and we can bring out the situation. Let's say we were programmed when we were a kid that things were bad or whatever. We can go back to that situation, and then we can use pain and pleasure relation to shift it to pleasure. Then suddenly we may get rid of some old fears or doubts or things like that. So that's cognitive reframing. That's through the mind. The second way is through affirmations. So I can say, my habit could be that I'm lazy. But I can say I'm hardworking, I'm hardworking, I'm hardworking. Now, some people think that's strange, by saying it, you're going to become it. Well, actually, as funny as it sounds, yeah, kind of. Yeah, you will, because you keep convincing yourself. It's like somebody who's sad and they keep saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Obviously, if they say it once, it might not work. But if they keep looking in the mirror and keep telling themselves and brainwashing themselves, eventually they'll think, I think I'm happier,
Yeah, true.
It will happen. So affirmations help too. Obviously, if you do the both together, even better. But the difference between the first one is you are ripping out the weeds that have been installed there for so long. The second one is laying the new turf. With affirmations, you're putting it on top. So that's why sometimes people, if you don't affirm enough and your weeds are strong there, let's say in your childhood upbringing, people said that, things are too expensive, or it's not easy to make money, right? That's weed is so strong, it's been there so many years. And then you just say, I'm rich. But inside is saying, no, making money is hard. So it keeps growing out. So that's why I always recommend doing the first process, then doing the second process with new lawn is on there. Wow, beautiful flowers, everything come. And then the final one is what I was actually learning when I was in the Himalayas, which is more to do with energy healing. So the first two are attacking the mind. We're not just the mind, because energetically we may store some traumas or blockages, whether it's this life, past life, there's energy blockages. And I always say to people, our physical, so what we see, is purely a limited reflection of our metaphysical. What that means is our metaphysical is infinite. Our energetic body is infinite. We're abundant. We're connected with the universe. We're connected with everything. And but our physical body is a representation of what's happening with my energy body.
Yeah.
If my energy is not connected or vibration isn't high enough and I'm not tuned in, I've got some blockages in the body. What in yoga we call chakras or nadis. When there's blockages, what happens is it represents on our physical body.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that a lot of people are not aware of, let's take fear, doubts, trauma, things like this. Where is our emotions stored in our body? People will say emotions probably stored in the mind or the heart. Emotions are stored here. These are our lower three chakras. Our lower three chakras, we have our energy center. And that's why in yogic practices, we do a lot of breath work, which expand and contract the stomach area. Because what it does is it releases, and that's why a lot of people can practice yoga or breath work and start crying, because it releases a lot of trauma. I would recommend doing that type of practice because, and another thing as well, like I'm going to say that line again, our physical is purely a limited reflection of our metaphysical.